Friends, welcome on this Friday afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to Central Florida Weather Live, the show. Rusty with you here a little bit later than usual. Had a dentist's appointment earlier today, which, what else is new with the dentist? It got more complicated than it should have. Was not expecting to have to get a little bit of Novocaine, but I did. And that meant that half of my face was numb, so we could forget about doing the 1 o'clock show. But we backed it up a little bit. Great to see you guys here. And again, Friday afternoon. And we've got some changes on the way. We've got a much more active weather pattern. You can probably already feel it starting outside right now. Some of the changes, we're going to talk about some showers. We're going to talk about some storms. We're going to be talking about getting in some cooler weather back into the forecast. Great to see you guys. As always, good afternoon, Blue Goose. You want to do me a quick favor while you're here and you're watching the live version of the show, click that like button for me right now. I appreciate it. And again, just like Blue Goose dropping in saying hi and good afternoon on a Friday, this is the interactive portion of the show, friends. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from. You have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop it down there as well. As always, I want to thank our sponsor of Central Florida Weather Live there at the bottom of your screen. That's the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. Anything that could impact you or your home. We're talking about hail, hurricanes, burst pipes, car accidents. They're there to walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. Lean on me law, easy for me to say today, lean on me law, oh my goodness, leanonmelaw.com. Is there a little bit of Novocaine left over in the mouth? Yes. Will we get through this together? Absolutely, guys. All right. Great to hear from you guys. Fiona, very gray outside. That's exactly where we're going to start, Fiona. I got the visible satellite imagery up. You can clearly start to see that we have clouds developing on both coastlines. Now, this is beginning to drop temperatures a bit, right? Sunshine isn't out there as much, but isn't it crazy how we have been in the mid and the upper 80s in a lot of areas the last few days? Well, now we're starting to finally get back into much more of a, quote, winter forecast here, and that's going to be some cooler weather and the opportunity for some fronts to bring us some rain. Remember, this time of the year, we have to get the fronts to move into the area to get us a few showers. We have an old frontal boundary actually situated right over Lake Okeechobee at the hour, and we're actually starting to get a couple of showers develop there. I'll pop on the radar data as well, and you can easily see the onshore flow here back towards Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce and Vero Beach, and these showers are beginning to develop. Now, ultimately, some of this activity could continue to develop and kind of just propagate north along the East Coast, where we could actually get a couple of showers in the forecast late tonight. It's not going to be widespread, shouldn't be very heavy, but underneath some of this thicker cloud coverage, which is beginning to develop outside right now, can't rule out a couple of Friday evening and early overnight showers to kick off the weekend. And then there's going to be some big changes for the weekend ahead as well. Teresa in the house. Hey, how you doing? Teresa saying Titusville is overcast right now. Why am I not live here? There we go. Titusville is overcast. I've got the show up myself, but for some reason you guys can see me just fine, right? For some reason my YouTube is not like letting me see my full live version right now. Whatever. I'm on. Fiona says, yeah, it looks like rain in Altamont Springs. Again, I would expect there to be a couple of showers in the forecast later tonight. And you can clearly see the showers developing off of this frontal boundary situated over Lake Okeechobee. But, you know, again, we're a little bit farther to the north. Temperatures are down a little bit today. You can clearly see over the last couple of hours that, you know, if you notice, like Sanford right now has basically since the lunchtime hour stayed steady at 73 degrees. We have 75 right now at MCO. So the temperature has actually come down 2 degrees. Daytona Beach is in at 74. Blue Goose said he had 64.8. St. Augustine is currently reporting 64. Again, watch the clouds build in, knock their temperature down a bit in the afternoon hours as well. So it all is on course. In the western portions of our area where we have a little bit more sunshine, it's all the difference right now. Your cloud coverage is very area dependent, but where it's thick, especially along the East Coast, temperatures are down. On the West Coast, it's a different story. Crystal River has nudged to 81. They've dropped back down to 79, but they had more sunshine early in the afternoon. Inverness 77, Leesburg coming in, again, back down to 73. It's just very easy to see the influence of the clouds and that easterly onshore breeze. Now, the good thing now is that I'm not expecting any fog for tomorrow morning. Man, has that been a headache. My wife going to work every morning, and she's had to go earlier today. Thanks, Blue Goose. I appreciate it. Yeah, for some reason, mine is like on my tablet freezing, so I'm just going to have to go with you guys. Like, I can't I can't, normally I could just watch myself with like a 5-second delay, but for some reason it is unhappy with me right now. But I appreciate that. But you know, the fog has just been relentless in some interior sections of our area. And then we get the sea fog, that marine layer as well. So this is kind of the overall perspective right now. Let's zoom out a little bit bigger here. I'm going to go out to this spot and just kind of show you guys what's happening here kind of in a general sense. Let me go back over here. So you can clearly see temperatures are a little bit cooler the farther north that you go. I'm going to put back on the visible satellite imagery here as well. We actually have a developing storm system in the southern plains. This is going to bring the opportunity for some strong to severe storms in the mid-south for tomorrow. As a matter of fact, southeast portions of Arkansas into Louisiana, Mississippi, and southwest Alabama could actually be in store for a severe weather outbreak. The Storm Prediction Center is actually already calling for an enhanced risk of severe storms, but this is going to be a much more active pattern, and some of this activity is going to be slipping back into our area here. So just to kind of give you guys a flavor of that right now, this is the risk for today. Now, these are just general thunderstorms. There's no actual severe weather risk here. And you notice that the Storm Prediction Center has put a risk of a few storms trying to build north through the remainder of today for portions of southeast Polk, Osceola, Indian River County, Brevard County, and the eastern sides of Orange County. Doesn't include Orlando, but it gets really close. So that's what I'm talking about. And I'll show you the models coming up, and that there should be a few showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder that tries to build in late this evening and through the overnight hours as well. So let's get back over here to the SPC outlook. Again, just a risk of a few storms here in the Arklatex and into the Tennessee Valley. But tomorrow, we already have an enhanced risk. That's a 3 out of 5 on the Storm Prediction scale. Now, Storm Prediction Center scale. Now, I've always not liked how they label these. Marginal is 1 out of 5. Then you get slight, 2 out of 5. Then you get enhanced, which is 3 out of 5. But then 4 out of 5 is actually moderate. To me, it never made sense. How is moderate higher than enhanced? And it's been an argument in the meteorological community ever since they redid this. And then 5 out of 5 is your high. And those are only reserved for the highest tornadic days. But big issue here, but you can see the developing system. So this again is for tomorrow. And then on Sunday, the risk for some stronger to severe storms slides east, as you would expect to see, where our area is just in the general thunderstorm risk. And this is going to be late Sunday and into early on Monday. But you get just north. I mean, you know, if you're watching in Gainesville, very close where Blue Goose is, and St. Augustine, but especially Jacksonville, the I-10 corridor, there'll be a slight risk for severe storms, or a marginal risk, if you will, in green. And that does go up the East Coast as well. And I tell you what, north of there, we're going to be measuring the snow in feet in a couple of spots. But just a much more active weather pattern to come here, friends, over the next couple of days. So time to get prepared for that. And behind this next batch of showers and storms, yes, we are going to get some cooler weather as well. Fiona says, excited to see those graphics for hurricane season. Look, we're ready to, yeah, man, I tell you what, you know, I know this is a little bit of a quieter season, but there's always things to build up. We're working, you know, doing a lot of things behind the scenes for you guys, both on this channel and on the Media Mundo channel. And if you guys have not heard yet, we have a third channel right now called Weather Express. It is a 5-minute channel, video forecast channel, where we talk about what's happening across the nation. What do you say? One of the things that we're going to be building on here on CFLW Live, and during, of course, the live streams when we're talking about impactful weather in Central Florida, is building out some more cameras for you guys. We have a couple to show you right now. This is a live look to the Magic Kingdom area. This video, or this camera live, is just 1 mile from the Magic Kingdom. So, of course, Lake Buena Vista is always going to be very busy. There's always going to be a lot of people out and about, so we're going to keep a really close eye on this area. You can clearly see the overcast beginning to build in, even into the southwest sides of Orange County. Gray right now, no real rain. If for some reason you've had a little bit of a sprinkle or a shower out of some of these thicker clouds, let us know in the comments section below for you right there. Conway's shot. This is from the Conway cam near downtown Orlando. Beautiful shot over Lake Conway. This right now, that's the money shot, if you will. It's a beautiful picture. Shows you the overcast building in. Still some peaks of sunshine kind of slipping through. And the breeze is going to be another big story. Winds are going to really start to freshen up as that front moves in late on Sunday. We'll take a look at that as well. We're talking about some 25, 30 mile an hour winds throughout the area as a line of showers and storms tries to move its way back in. So we'll get back into the forecast here. I don't know why I keep hitting that button. Sorry, I always want to go back out to the southeast. Let me get myself back over to the weather computer here. And let's take a look at a couple of different things. Speaking of the winds, let's go over to wind gusts right now. So these are your current live wind gusts. You know, they're not bad, right? Here's Daytona Beach right now with a pretty solid 29 mile an hour wind. I think the easiest thing for me to do here is just to pause this at the current time and we'll see what's happening. So Sanford, 24 mile an hour wind out of the northeast. You're going to notice that these winds are going to mainly have a bit of an easterly component to them, right? Whether it's due east or a bit northeast. Melbourne near Palm Bay, about a 23 mile an hour northeast wind. And again, that slight north component is pulling in the slightly cooler air. It's actually a due north wind right now in St. Augustine, 23 miles an hour. Jacksonville east side has had a northeast wind near 30 miles an hour. Ocala, a north wind at around 21 near Spring Hill. Bit of an east wind there as well. And even towards the west coast, winds are either variable or they're out of the east. So it's all a bit of a fresh easterly breeze that's beginning to dig into the area right now. So we're getting to pile up a little bit of moisture at the Atlantic. And again, the opportunity for a couple of showers. When I put back on the radar here, again, eventually this activity is going to try and lift north as we go through the overnight hours. So let's get into the forecast right now, guys, and we'll do that. So I'm going to switch over here. We'll start off with the rain. I'm going to bring on the model timeline. This is the HRRR model. Okay, so this is what we call the high resolution rapid refresh. It is an extremely high resolution model. It goes out 48 hours. So this is fantastic as far as short-term forecasting. And again, you're going to see a lot more green on the map here over the next coming days. Fiona says getting a little bit of drizzle right now. Yes, absolutely, Blue Goose. You guys are right on the edge. Again, I would expect there to be the opportunity for a few stronger storms up in the St. Augustine area. In a general sense, the farther north and west that you go, the wetter that it is going to be as well. All right. So let's break this down, and I'm going to look at the winds as well. But first of all, if I just kind of pull this out, can you clearly see that the moisture is coming in around the periphery of our Atlantic Ridge and the western side here of the Atlantic Ocean, and it's swinging that moisture to the north? And so this is what's on tap for later tonight through tomorrow morning. And actually, I want to see if I can back this up just a little bit more here. Hopefully it'll take us back to this afternoon. No, it doesn't want to do that. We must literally have a new model run right now, which is just fine. Try it one more time here to see if it wants to back up. If not, we'll just start from 10 o'clock, which works. Probably because as I was on the air, we literally have had an update with this. So you get the idea, right, that overnight into the wee hours of Saturday, by the way, men, it is Valentine's Day. Please keep that in mind. You know, you've got a couple of hours, but you get the idea here that a few showers are possible. So this is 3 a.m. overnight, and we could have a couple of sprinkles for Cape Canaveral, Altamont Springs, Orlando, Sanford, Eustis, Umatilla, towards Leesburg. And that could continue into early tomorrow morning, especially again along the East Coast. So when you wake up tomorrow, there is the opportunity for a few passing showers. And as a matter of fact, the HRRR, even since the last model run that I saw, this is a brand new run, is even a little bit more aggressive right now through portions of Brevard and Seminole in the inland sides of Volusia County, trying to throw a few showers in the forecast early tomorrow. I don't have a ton of rain in the forecast overall for tomorrow, but you get the idea that this could skirt right up the East Coast into Flagler County, then up towards Crescent Beach and St. Augustine areas as well. Now, this is going to come along with some cloud coverage, so it's going to be a little bit of a cloudy start to the day. In general, I expect skies to start off cloudy or mostly cloudy tomorrow and then begin to clear throughout the day, trying to get you partly sunny or even mostly sunny skies by the end of our Saturday. But clearly, we're going to be influenced here by this little mesoscale feature just off of our East Coast to swing in a little bit of rain. Now, you get west of I-4, and that chance is going to be a lot less. So places like Lakeland and Tampa and St. Pete and Spring Hill and Inverness, a sprinkle or two is possible, but this is mainly going to be I-4 corridor off towards the east. But even then again, Is it going to be significant? Absolutely not, for the most part. Now, as we go into the rest of Saturday, as I said, skies should clear, and then we watch for the approach of the actual front on Sunday. And this, again, could bring a round of strong to potentially severe storms. Again, I'm not that worried about the severe weather threat in our area for Sunday. I do expect there to be some storms, and of course that comes along with some lightning, so you need to stay weather aware if you have outdoor plans. As lovely as it's been lately, I'm sure some folks do, but you can see by 1 o'clock, which is the end of the HRRR run, and we'll switch over to the GFS in just a second, that this line of storms begins to move into places like St. Augustine, into Putnam County, Marion County, back into Citrus County. Obviously, if this line does hold together, along that leading edge is going to be the worst weather. You're going to have the gustiest winds, which even outside the thunderstorms, I'm expecting to be around 30 plus miles an hour from time to time on Sunday. Ahead of it, it's going to be a west to a southwest wind, and we'll look at those winds in a second coming in ahead of this line of showers and storms. But obviously embedded within that line, the lightning and the rain and the wind will be picking up, and then this pushes off to the south and to the east. Now, in general, the farther southeast that we go, this line should break apart. So your best chance for rain and the best chance for some organized active weather is going to be in places like Palatka and Ocala and Denellen, Crystal River, Homosassa, towards the villages. If you have afternoon golf plans Sunday in the villages, keep that in mind. Portions of Hernando, Lake County, and then even Flagler County as well, by the way, Palm Coast, and up towards St. Augustine as well. And then south and east, this line should begin to break apart just a little bit. So that's the HRRR model. I'll switch over to the GFS again. GFS is a global model, good model. We use it all the time. Pick it up from there. I'll take it out. Let's see. We'll go to Monday evening. Might take just 1 second to loop up. As we do so, I'll switch over to here. Look, Blue Goose, you know, this is the time of the year, guys, that we do get hit by these, these fronts. Look, we're not going to get rain, right, from our sea breeze storms. That's not going to happen. Every so often, we can get a little bit of moisture coming in from both coasts, like we're having today to spell a few showers. But if we're really going to get some heavier rain and obviously some active weather, it's got to come from these cold fronts. And this is the time of the year that's absolutely going to happen. It's been a little while, right? And this will have a punch of some colder air. We'll look at some 3-day forecasts coming up for you guys. I've got several cities across Central Florida to look at for that as well. While you're here, and I appreciate you guys tuning in, thank you so much for hitting the like button on this live stream. Good to see more folks than what we normally have. So I appreciate that coming in. And again, we'll get you prepared for your weekend here on CFLW. Remember, the show is live on Monday and Fridays, and then anytime there's impactful weather, I'll be on live to cover that morning, noon, or night. So for some reason the weather gets a little bit hairy on Sunday, I'll be back on live if the conditions warrant. So here is the GFS model as we get into Sunday. Now you notice the timing of this is about the same, right? 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, just like the HRRR. It's not as overly aggressive. It's trying to break up the rain a little bit more, okay? And then into Monday, we should be clearing out. But my point with this more than anything was, regardless of the model that we're looking at, generally the farther south and east that you live, the lower the chance the rain is going to be on Sunday, and the least active the weather is going to be. So you can clearly see that the GFS wants to really break apart that rain even a little bit faster. I can show you the NAM model as well. And we can look at the high resolution NAM. Again, just another perspective of things. This one, it does go out until 7 o'clock Sunday, so this should work as well. Yes, absolutely. Look, do I expect there to be big time tree problems with the oaks by this particular front? No, but is there going to be a lot of wind overall, even outside the storms on Sunday? Absolutely. Again, I think the winds are going to freshen up 25, 30 miles an hour in most spots ahead of the storms. And if the line can hold together, then we would probably get some 40 and 50 mile an hour gusts. Remember, to get a severe thunderstorm warning, you got to have 60 mile an hour winds and or inch sized hail. The criteria is relatively robust. You could have storms that could produce some damage that don't even have severe thunderstorm warnings attached to them. That's why they have what they call special weather statements. That's the rung below a severe thunderstorm warning. So if we take a look at the NAM model, it's a little bit slower, but not much. It pushes the storms across Jacksonville and Gainesville during the 2 o'clock hour. and again, tries to hold the line a little bit better than the GFS did into the late afternoon hours of our Sunday. So again, as I've mentioned, Palm Coast and Ocala and Citrus County, and you can clearly see on the NAM as we get into Sunday evening, it begins to fall apart across I-4. That's what I'm expecting. Still a lot of wind gusts across I-4, Lakeland, Orlando, Deltona, Sanford, Daytona Beach, New Smyrna, Wilbur by the Sea, Oak Hill, Titusville, Rockledge areas, but just not in the way of more than likely any stronger storms, because they should be breaking apart. Now, boaters, keep this in mind as well for our Sunday. So that's what it looks like when it comes to the rain. Let's go back over to the winds. I think the easiest thing to do is I'm going to switch to this and then bring this in. And then we'll take a look at this. So give me just 1 second here. I'm going to bring these vector fields up, make them a little bit bigger, easier to see. Voila. And then let's go out to, well, I tell you what. Let's go to the GFS on this one because we want to look at, see if I do this again here, the GFS. Should be the GFS now. Okay. So many things that I can do, and I love to show you guys. I love to show off the system. Okay, so this should be it. It might take just a second to fully load up. But as I've mentioned, in the short term, you have an area of high pressure coming off of the East Coast here, or just basically building in, and that's allowing that onshore flow to continue for today, which is why our winds are going to be turning a little bit more out of the south. But you can clearly see the impacts of this front. And for the first time in a couple of weeks, we actually are going to have a north wind coming in, and that is going to drop temperatures. I do expect between Sunday afternoon, which should be very warm in most spots because the rain doesn't hit us, right, until late in the afternoon in most areas, you know, upper 80s. And then on Monday, 60s and lower 70s. We're going to be dropping by more than 15 degrees. But you can clearly see the wind shift coming in on Sunday, and then by Monday morning, we're down to a basically due north or northeast wind. The purples that you see are going to be winds of around 20 miles an hour. When you get to the pinks, they're 25. I can put on the text. It's a little bit funky to see this here, but if you can just follow this, if you look in, you're going to see a lot of 20s and 25s in our area. And that should be the trend. I'll back this up just a little bit. The freshest winds will be ahead of the front and along the front, which again will go to the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. And then the winds will still be quite breezy as we head into Monday morning, but it's a north wind by then. So what do you say we get into our city by city forecasts? Let's do that. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, like buttons, bottom of your screen are current updated not forecast, but current updated live conditions in your area. A lot of different cities will be scrolling through there. So let's start off with Orlando for the weekend. We'll start off with cloudy skies tomorrow morning, maybe a couple of sprinkles. 83 the daytime high, skies clearing through the day. Starting off mostly cloudy or cloudy, ending the day partly to mostly sunny. It's going to get windy on Sunday. Again, look for a west to southwest wind, 15 to 25 miles an hour with some higher gusts. Showers begin to move in. An isolated thunderstorm is absolutely possible. Generally just some rain though across I-4. Then we flip the switch with the temperatures. Mostly sunny and cooler on Monday. After a morning low of 56, which could be some light jacket weather for most folks, the daytime high on Monday is actually below average, coming in at 70 degrees. So a 16-degree temperature drop here in Orlando between our high on Sunday and on Monday. For the attractions, which again, always very busy, regardless of the weather, should be pretty nice in the attractions area the majority of the day. Mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. Get a warm day, 84 degrees. We're even warmer Sunday ahead of the rain, all the way up to 87. But again, very windy conditions, late showers at a 30% chance, then cooler and mostly sunny on Monday with a daytime high of just 70 degrees. To Tampa we go. Mostly sunny skies here, not expecting as much cloud coverage. Again, the farther west that you go, a little bit clearer, and temperatures should start off on the milder side. So a 68-degree morning low in the Tampa, Brandon area for tomorrow, including places like Citrus Park, Town and Country. 85 the daytime high. We'll actually start to get some of the rain because along the west coast, again, that front and the orientation, the showers should move in a little bit quicker along the west coast. So that will keep their high down to 81, and they're going to have a good chance for some rain and even a rumble of thunder thunder on Sunday in Tampa with a 50% chance there, and then a comfortable day for Monday after 56 for the morning low up to 74 for the daytime high. For our friends in the villages, again, skies start off mostly cloudy, will clear in the afternoon hours. It should be a beautiful day to be outdoors, golf, tennis, pickleball, whatever you guys want to do in the villages for tomorrow. 81, the daytime high after a mild low of 61. Things really change up though. Again, early Sunday's okay, but by the late morning to the noontime hour on Sunday, you're going to want to stay weather aware. Looking to your north and west, you should clearly see the line of showers and storms moving in with a low base, darker clouds. Windy conditions ahead of it. Good luck with the golf on Sunday morning. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. 60% chance for showers and storms. 83 the daytime high. Here comes your colder air. The villages plunge to a morning low on Monday of 50. There will be some areas of Marion County that will get into the upper 40s. And then a sunny but a much cooler afternoon on Monday with a high of 70 degrees. To our friends in Palm Coast, again, can't rule out a couple of showers late tonight and overnight through early on Saturday. So this 20% chance for rain should be out of here at latest by mid-morning tomorrow. Skies should clear to partly sunny after that. And again, I can't even rule out there being a rumble of thunder associated with what's kind of building up the East Coast as we go through the rest of today and overnight. So a little bit more active pattern there. 78 the daytime high for tomorrow. 82 on Sunday with a breezy southwest wind, again 20 to 30 miles an hour before the rain moves in, but a 60% chance for showers and storms in places like Flagler, Beverly Beaches, and in Palm Coast. And then it gets colder there. I mean, this is a big stark change. 48 in the morning low on Monday and a daytime high on your Monday of 61 degrees. So we dropped by more than 20 degrees in Palm Coast from the afternoon high on Sunday and then into Monday. And then for my friends in the Melbourne area, again, we're going to get some clouds and some rain potentially late tonight and overnight, but skies should just then clear after that as that whole kind of very small feature moves to the north. So we do end the day tomorrow mostly sunny. Shouldn't be a bad day for the Brevard County beaches or getting out and about in Brevard County. 79 the daytime high for tomorrow. Sunday, again, it's a big difference between our northwest areas and our southeast areas. So you get down into southern Brevard County and southern Osceola and Indian River counties, and there's just not as much rain in the forecast. And this should be very late in the day. So overall, the better weekend is in places like Melbourne, Titusville, and Palm Bay. 20% chance for an isolated shower, still quite breezy, but again, it's a southwest wind, and that pulls the daytime high all the way up to 86. But even Melbourne will feel the impacts of that next cold front. Much cooler on Monday with a daytime high of 70. Didn't know thunderstorm warnings were so robust. Oh, I got all the words. I like robust. I like rowdy. That's another word as well. Rowdy thunderstorms. You'll hear me talk about that from time to time as well. So that's what it looks like over the next 3 days. Okay. Now let's take a look at a couple of other things to show you guys here. First of all, we're going to look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook across the country. Well, my oh my, hasn't things changed? The last couple of weeks that I showed you guys this, we were in that deep red, a deep orange and red, where we had a very high chance to have temperatures above average. Well, in the 6 to 10 day time frame, so end of next week into next week and in the early the week after that, right, as we get a little bit closer to the beginning of March, we are in store for a very good chance to see temperatures below average. And it's not just us, it's all of the central and the eastern United States. That polar vortex is coming back in. By the way, if you haven't been keeping attention, and you should by watching the Weather Express channel, we've had some 55 degree below zero wind chill values in the Dakotas the last couple of days, and that Arctic air has plunged through the plains. You know how it is. When flat land, there's nothing stopping that north wind from going all the way down into Oklahoma and Texas. So bitterly cold there, turning into a lot of snow. But we are going to start to see, again, a big change up in our weather with that as well. Now, that's cold and dry air in general, so the oranges and the browns that you see over the 6 to 10 day forecast is drier than normal weather, whereas we will probably have an average chance to see what we typically see for rainfall totals, which isn't exorbitant here in February, but then we even get to the lighter green, which says there's actually a slight chance that will be above normal in that 6 to 10 day time frame. So, you know, the opportunity for that, when we look at the rain in general from the GFS, this is just over the next 5 days. you notice that there's not a ton of rain on the GFS model. So yes, this line of showers and storms is coming through, but it's a really fast moving system. I'm not expecting outside where the thunderstorms really just kind of line up and get pile on some quick rain. I'm not expecting there to be a lot in the way of rainfall totals in association with the front that's going to be coming in late on Sunday afternoon for us here. But if I take this out a little bit longer, let's see, today's the 14th. So if I go out, I'm going to go a full 9-10 days out, you can clearly see that there's a lot more rain on the forecast here in general, which is why the headline for this show was a much more active pattern. So now you're getting into maybe a couple of inches of rain in some spots here, which again, for, you know, this time of the year, it's not bad to start to see the model paint on, you know, a few inches of rain up north, maybe a ½ inch of rain down here. Again, you can clearly see the gradient as you go north and west into the area. So that's something I'm going to be monitoring here as we go through the remainder of the 7 to 10 day time frame, is just more active weather in general. If we go back over to the GFS model here, let's clear out those numbers. And I take this and I loop it out just a little bit longer. I don't want to go too far out in time, but if I take it to like mid next week and I loop this up, again, you're going to see the one front coming in Sunday. Then behind that, it'll be a little bit quieter, but there's the next developing storm system. Okay. So more than likely, as we get into Wednesday or even Thursday, we've got another active cold front coming in. Showers, storms, windy conditions, much colder air to plummet those numbers once again. Teresa in the house, finally caught one of your forecasts. I appreciate it. Yeah, so, you know, typically, and look, this is not rigid, right? Typically, I come on at 1 o'clock on Monday and Fridays for these CFLW live shows, okay? And I understand not everyone can watch them live. I really appreciate those who take a minute and have that free time to watch it live, because I love this interaction. If you can't, you know, I had to go on at 3 o'clock today because I actually had some dental work done earlier today, and it was a little bit more invasive, if you will, than I expected, and they had to numb me up, and I wasn't expecting that, so half of my mouth was still numb still numb as we went into the 1 o'clock hour, so there was no way that I was going to be able to do that. That being said, the reason why I do it at 1 o'clock is as we get closer to the wet season, right? You know, by this time in the afternoon, we're going to see some of these storms developing, and I might be just going on live regardless. Remember, this is a live only channel. The live shows on Monday and Friday is to kind of just keep constant contact with you guys, to give you guys the forecast over the next couple of days, right? And to discuss that. But anytime there's impactful weather, this is what this channel was about, for me to come on live and to walk you guys through that active weather, right? Severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, obviously last year, the hurricanes that came in, anything like that. But we've added these live shows on Monday and Friday so you guys can stay a little bit more up to date in the forecast. So now you guys clearly know, look, there's an opportunity for some storms coming in on Sunday, if nothing else, just some rain, and then the opportunity to get some more rain and storms more than likely as we get into, and I did it again, as we get into mid next week. All right. So that is kind of the overall forecast for us here. But I appreciate you doing that. And again, I appreciate you guys liking this as well. Now, what I meant by the rigidity is, you know, there might be changes to when I do this on Monday and Fridays. It's not out of the question, right? This is just kind of the first glance of it. I knew that this was a simple time frame to do it, meaning that typically by 1 o'clock, we're not into the heart of the sea breeze storms, even in the summer months, you know, so weather is relatively quiet here, but we could be changing it up a bit. But again, regardless of when you guys watch this, whether you watch it in the recorded version, or whether you guys watch it in the live version, I really do appreciate you guys. And if you have a specific question about the forecast, you can ask at any point in time, whether it be during the live version or in the recorded version, and I come back and I will answer those. But I appreciate you guys watching regardless. Speaking of that, do you guys have any questions for me right now as to what's happening with what's going on either today or a little bit down the road? Again, if you're just tuning in, we do have some rain developing just south of our area. Skies are cloudy. Temperatures are much cooler with that strong easterly breeze. And I'll bring on the winds as well, just so you can see the direction. These are the live winds. I'll just go to the arrows, but you can clearly see there's a punch of northeast winds right now, which is helping to drop temperatures. As a matter of fact, Blue Goose, you got to be down, right? Down to 64 here in St. Augustine. So your temperature's got to be dropping. It's possible, Fiona, and you know, again, 3 o'clock, unfortunately doesn't typically work with my schedule, but maybe doing something like, instead of doing Friday afternoon, we do Thursday night, you know, something like that. That's what I love about this, right? We can figure this out together, guys. You know, there's no time restrictions on YouTube, right? As long as I'm available and we can come on and talk, we'll do it. So I appreciate the input, appreciate the feedback. If you guys want to give me, you know, some times that you guys think you're a little bit more available, I absolutely appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, look at these temperatures dropping down. Yeah, Blue Goose 64. Since we've been talking, it's dropped a couple of degrees, hasn't it? You were at 64.8. Okay, now you're down to 64.4. All right. The METAR site there in St. Augustine has dropped a couple degrees. Okay, friends. I believe I have covered everything that I want to cover here. Again, real quickly, if you guys don't know, I am doing another YouTube channel now. It's called Weather Express, okay? A lot of folks have been asking me, Rusty, are you doing anything for the United States forecast? And the answer is yes, and it's this channel. Okay, you will find a link to the Weather Express channel in the video description here of this live stream on CFLW. Look for the YouTube play icon and it says Weather Express. All you gotta do is click on that and it will take you to that channel. If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and subscribing to Weather Express, it's a 5-minute daily forecast for the United States. So I talk about the big highlights across the U.S. So if you have family and friends who live outside of Central Florida and you like what I do here, maybe let them know about that channel. You can share that with them. If you would just like the overall daily forecast for the United States, make sure you subscribe to Weather Express. And again, the link there. I appreciate that support. I certainly appreciate the support, and I'm going to say this better this time, the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, leanonmelaw.com. They are the exclusive sponsors of CFLW for the first half of 2025. They represent homeowners, condo owners, and associations across the entire state. Doesn't matter where you live, they'll cover all of Florida, and they will represent you anything that could impact you or your home. So again, hail, wind damage, hurricanes, burst pipes, car accidents. They'll walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. If that situation arises in your life, you can go to leanonmelaw.com if you would like more information. And again, we appreciate Bobby Lean and the team there being the sponsors here of CFLW. Let me go back over here real quick. Yep, getting breezing cooler up there as well. No doubt about it. That's going to be the story for the rest of today, guys. Do not expect your temperature to climb anymore. It'll be holding steady, if anything else. Again, a few showers developing along our east coast. Thicker cloud coverage there. Should be a little bit milder off towards the west. Enjoy your Saturday. Everything looks to be pretty good for tomorrow, but again, eventually as we get into our Sunday, we will see showers and storms moving into the forecast with our next front, which again is very common for this time of the year. It's just been a while. If you're just tuning in, for Sunday, this is the risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. The darker green is their marginal risk, or 1 out of 5 on their scale for severe storms. At this point in time, it's in the Jacksonville, Gainesville, Cedar Key area, with the lighter green, your general risk for some stronger storms from St. Augustine, Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, the Astor area, and over towards the Villages and Wekiva, Yahala, Claremont, all the way back down towards Tampa. As I mentioned, you know, down the West Coast, they get the storms a little bit earlier in the day as they build in and move east. So even places like Palmetto, Sarasota, Bradenton will be in on that. But again, this lighter green is not a risk of severe weather, but just some generalized thunderstorms. Doesn't mean there couldn't be a rowdy storm moving into our northwest areas. And again, the timing of that is going to be during the afternoon hours of our Sunday. Friends, I think that's going to do it for today. I appreciate you guys. Again, join me on Monday at 1 o'clock for CFLW, the show. I'll be live then, and we'll be talking about the next front coming in. First of all, it's going to be a heck of a lot cooler on our Monday. So we'll be talking about some chillier conditions there, and then look to that midweek front, which could even have more impactful shower and storm chances, the opportunity for some strong to severe storms, and even colder air plunging in behind that for this time next week. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. You all take care. husbands, boyfriends, remember the wives, the girlfriends, and everyone. Have a great weekend as well. Again, stay weather aware Sunday afternoon if you're going to be out and about. And I will see you on Monday at 1 o'clock for the latest edition of Central Florida Weather Live. Teresa, good to see you. Blue Goose, thank you for subbing to Weather Express. Garrett in the house, thanks for tuning in. The very last second, Garrett, we're ending it, but I appreciate Garrett all the way up in North Carolina tuning in, and I appreciate you guys hitting that like button for me right now. All right, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your Valentine's Day. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you Monday afternoon.